Have you ever heard about the W-9 form? It's an important form, and more than likely, you've either had a request for this form, or you yourself may be requesting this form from your vendors. This form is used to collect information about others, but knowing in advance that you need it to request this information will not only save you valuable time, but it will also give you the information that you need to file necessary and accurate documents for your business as well. In today's episode, I'm covering what the W-9 form is, who you need to request them from, and what you need to do with this information once you receive it. It doesn't matter if you're using a computerized software system like QuickBooks, Xero, Wave, or FreshBooks, or if you're doing your bookkeeping manually with an Excel spreadsheet or even a Google document. You will need this information for your business. Whether you're just getting started with your business, you're a self-employed individual, a solopreneur, entrepreneur, small business owner, remote virtual online bookkeeper, virtual assistant, or VA, you will need to know why this form will make an impact on you and your business. The W-9 form is one of the first steps in the process for filing your 1099s, and making sure that you have this information can save you from getting penalties from delinquent filing requirements. You're listening to the Mastering Your Small Business Finances podcast, where we get straight to the point on topics that ultimately affect your bottom line. That's right, as an entrepreneur with a small business, money management, growth, marketing, they all affect your bottom line. I'm your host, Chris Ponick. I'm a certified public accountant, and I've been helping small business owners like you navigate and easily understand these complicated topics for over 25 years. I'm a wife, a mom, a grandmother, and a small business owner myself, so I know your time is valuable. In my free time, I make the best sugar cookies and have mastered an amazing chocolate chip cookie recipe. And that's not just my opinion. You're in the right place. I promise your time will be well spent here. Each week, you'll gain confidence and clarity while making a successful impact on your business and grow your bottom line. Get comfy, grab a cookie, and let's get straight to the point with this week's episode. Over the last 20 plus years of doing bookkeeping, I've learned a thing or two about what works for not only my bookkeeping business, but also for other business owners. I know sifting through the available options takes time. I want you to know about 2 solutions that will not only save you time, but they'll keep you in compliance and reduce stress. Do you want to reduce your stress level? First, I highly recommend you check out QuickBooks Online. I've used QuickBooks for over 20 years, and they really know how to streamline processes and make your bookkeeping and recording your transactions simple and easy. QuickBooks is one of the top software solutions used by small business owners, and I would say that over 95% of my clients are using QuickBooks for their business. The bank feeds save you so much time, and I can help you save 50% off your first 3 months. Second, payroll changes are hard to keep up with, and I know how frustrating this can be. That's why I recommend ADP as your payroll solution. I've used ADP to process payroll for years and years, and they are one of the industry-leading payroll and HR solutions serving over 900,000 businesses. By using ADP, you can run your payrolls faster, easier, and with confidence. It doesn't matter if you have 1 employee or over 100. They'll help you pay your employees and taxes accurately and on time. You'll have peace of mind with all the resources you need, and they'll keep you in compliance by meeting reporting deadlines and process W-2s at year end. I work closely with ADP, and I can help you save 15% off your services and take advantage of their promotions. Head over to financialadventure.com/resources and learn about why choosing these resources matter to your business. They've made a significant impact in my business, and I'm sure you'll agree they'll benefit your business as well. Welcome back. The W-9 form has been around for a long time, but you may have only recently started hearing about it. The W-9 form is a request for taxpayer identification number and certification. You use the W-9 form to request information from an individual or business that you need to file an information return with the IRS. Typically, this form is used to get information from vendors who are independent contractors that you have paid $600 or more during a year so that you can issue the appropriate 1099 form for them. By collecting the information on the W-9 form in advance, you are easily able to complete the 1099 forms on time without the hassle of trying to get this information right before the deadline of filing any returns that you're required to file. The W-9 form asks for the individual or business name, federal tax classification, address, Social Security number, or employer identification number. Just as a W-2 is filed by an employer to let the appropriate federal or state level know how much income, withholdings, Social Security, and Medicare taxes an individual has made throughout the year, the W-9 form gives you all the information that you need to file the appropriate information return, such as the 1099, so that the IRS can make sure that these individuals are paying the taxes that they owe on income that's not considered wages and reported on a W-2. If you're an employee, you will not need to fill out a W-9 form for your employer. Whenever you obtain a new vendor, you should be requesting a W-9 form from them. If you haven't requested a W-9 form from your vendors already, the next best time to do so would be right now, so that you can receive this information prior to the 1099 deadline. You want to have all the information necessary to file any 1099s that are required. The due date to file your 1099s is January 31st. Knowing that this date is right around the corner, you need to make sure that you have all this information available to you so that you're not scrambling to meet the deadline with information that you don't even have yet. Some businesses will require the W-9 form be filled out and received by the business prior to even sending out any payments to encourage the prompt receipt of this form. You can easily obtain a copy of the W-9 form online from the IRS website. You can either send a copy of this form to your vendors, or you can ask them to print a copy from the IRS website to fill out and return to you. When you receive the W-9, you'll use this information for filing any necessary returns, but you will not send the W-9 form to the IRS. This form is information only for you to use in your business. Be proactive and request your W-9 forms as soon as you get a new vendor, or whenever a vendor has a change to their W-9, make sure that you request an updated W-9 so that you have the accurate information that you need to fulfill your obligations for any form filings that your business needs to do. If you're ever unsure if you need to have a W-9 filled out from a vendor, you can always request to have the form completed. It's always better to have the form filled out if you're ever in doubt. If you have any questions about the W-9 form or any other bookkeeping topic, please know that you can reach out to me. You can contact me by going to financialadventure.com/contact-us. I'd love to hear from you, and I personally respond to all of my emails. I'll be holding my workshop, The 7 Mistakes to Avoid in Your Business, next week. In this workshop, you'll learn what successful entrepreneurs have overcome to raise the level of success in their business and master their small business finances. You can register for this workshop by going to financialadventure.com/workshop. Make sure you check back frequently to see which workshops are coming up next. I'll post links for these and other valuable resources for business owners and bookkeepers where you're listening to this podcast and in the show notes. All right, to recap this episode. Number 1, the W-9 form is a request for taxpayer identification number and certification. You use the W-9 form to request information from an individual or business that you need to file an information return with the IRS. Number 2, typically this form is used to get information from vendors who are independent contractors that you have paid $600 or more to during the year so that you can issue the appropriate 1099 form for them. Number 3, the W-9 form asks for the individual or business name, federal tax classification, address, and Social Security number or employer identification number. Number 4, the W-9 form gives you all of the information that you need to file the appropriate information return, such as the 1099, so that the IRS can make sure that these individuals are paying the tax that they owe on income that's not considered wages and reported on W-2. Number 5, whenever you obtain a new vendor, you should be requesting a W-9 form from them. If you haven't requested a W-9 form from your vendors already, the next best time to do so would be right now so that you can have this information prior to the 1099 deadline. Number 6, the due date to file your 1099s is January 31st. You need to make sure that you have all of this information available to you so that you are not scrambling around to meet the deadline with information that you don't even have yet. Number 7, you can easily obtain a copy of the W-9 form online from the IRS website. You can either send a copy of this form to your vendors, or you can ask them to print a copy from the IRS website to fill out and return to you. You won't be sending the W-9 form to the IRS. This form is information for you only to use in your business. Number 8, be proactive and request your W-9 forms as soon as you get a new vendor, or whenever a vendor has a change to their W-9 information. Make sure that you request an updated W-9 so that you have all the accurate information you need to fulfill your obligations for any form filings that your business needs to do. And you know I'm going to ask, what's at least one thing that you will take away from this episode that will help your business succeed and grow your bottom line? If you need some accountability, join our private Facebook community and post your action item. We'd love to support you. Thanks for taking the time to tune into this episode of Mastering Your Small Business Finances. If you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it for you, I'd love for you to give it a 5-star rating and subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. Visit financialadventure.com for the show notes, links from this episode, and while you're there, leave a comment if you have a topic you're interested in learning more about that affects your bottom line. If you're looking for a community where you can ask questions and get feedback about your small business, join my private Facebook group. You can find the links to this group and more on financialadventure.com. And remember, any financial information shared on this podcast is not to be considered professional, financial, or tax advice and should not be solely relied upon. Please consult your CPA or tax advisor for an opinion on your specific circumstances. I'm looking forward to having you tune in next time. Until then, dream big, follow your heart, and love what you do.